forgot who I am and what I represent, what I stand for. It's the king for a fall, but I outshot them all. They ain't talking just material, I'm talking overall.
Showboating Sports, guys. Your boy Scott Free. What's going on, Fight Fam? Hey, look here. I know you guys heard about Canelo leaving DAZN and all that stuff. And if you haven't heard, let me just give you a quick scoop on it. Canelo took DAZN to court. They found out his contract was one of those slave-type contracts. And guess what? Canelo got out of it. They signed some kind of, they settled for something out of court. But I guess everybody's happy. Oscar De La Hoya said it's over. Canelo finally moved on. Nobody knows if Canelo is just going to stay free for a while, if he's going to come over to PBC or not. Who knows? But right now, Canelo is talking about fighting Caleb Plant, which is, man, that's damn good news, man. Him fighting Caleb Plant is good news. Matter of fact, it's great news. I've given Canelo a lot of hell. I've lost a lot of respect for Canelo over the years, man. When Canelo first came out years ago, way before he fought Floyd, I saw Canelo coming up, and I was like, man, whoever this little dude is, he can box. He can box. I mean, I was like, this dude got some skills. He's going to definitely be champ. So over the years, I watched him develop. And he's always had skills a long time ago. I knew he wasn't going to be able to beat Floyd. I knew that. But I was kind of nervous about it. I was actually kind of nervous about it. I was like, man, if he connects with Floyd, because I know how Canelo operates, you know what I mean? He's going to come in and be a little bit heavier. And I figured he'd try to use that for his advantage. But, man, Floyd is just a master, man. He's a master boxer, man. I mean, my goodness. He let Canelo come in 15 pounds heavier and still beat him. They asked Canelo after the fight. They was like, Canelo, what do you think about Floyd and you coming in heavy? He was like, man, there's nothing to talk about. If you can't hit him, you can't hit him. It doesn't count. I don't even want to talk about it. So it really I think that kind of hurt his spirit a little bit. So over the years, you know, everybody's trying to be that top dog and trying to get in to be Floyd. That's what everybody's shooting for. And it's cool because, you know, you come from a lot of fighters come from not having money, you know? So they want to make the money. They want to get the fame, plus they want to be in the Hall of Fame. But Canelo has always, to me, in the very beginning of his career, I thought he was destined for greatness, and I thought he had the heart to become great. But over the years, man, when I started finding out he was messing with these PEDs and then trying to take fights and starting to cherry pick, start giving people rehydration clauses and doing everything he could just to stay on top. And I'm like, man, I understand a little bit of the holding, a little bit of headbutting, just a little bit of stuff that comes into boxing. That's considered cheating, but it's not cheating. I mean, it goes within the sport. But when you start taking PEDs, that takes you out of the sport. So for some years, man, I just had a problem with Canelo. I really did. He is definitely not he's not top number one on my pound for pound because of the PEDs. And so, I mean, if you guys want him on your top pound for pound, that's cool. Not me. When you start doing that and you start cherry picking, I can't give you that. Then you fight Kovalev, and then you make sure Kovalev has a rehydration clause, which Floyd didn't give you. Then you didn't give him a lot of time from his last fight because I think it was, 8 weeks later? They wanted him to go be in another fight. So Kovalev, I mean, he took it because he needed the money, but guess what it did? It padded Canelo's career. It padded his stats, and I'm just not a fan of that. But to be on my pound for pound, you can't be doing that kind of stuff. But anyway, back to it, that he's supposed to be fighting Caleb Plant, and I'm all for him fighting Caleb Plant. I'm definitely all for him fighting Caleb Plant because Caleb ain't gonna go in there and lay down. Do I think Caleb can win? I don't know. I don't know if Caleb can win or not because I haven't seen. I really haven't seen the old Canelo. What he did against Triple G, I thought it was good. I thought he did okay. I definitely got him winning the second fight. The first fight, I thought Triple G kind of edged that in the first fight. It was so close it could have went either way. But after that, him fighting Kovalev, him trying to do, you know, just all those antics that he comes with, it's like his mind is not on boxing. It's kind of like he's not as hungry as he used to be. You know what Marvin Hagler said, that when you're sleeping on silk sheets, it's hard to get out of bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I think Canelo suffers from a little bit of that. I think he's done got a lot of money and trying to become the best in the world, trying to prove that he's the best in the world, was a little bit off. And I think that the people in the suits kind of played in his ear with De La Hoya and the zone and that kind of stuff. I think that the zone wanted him to make the fights, but I think that Canelo was like, man, I see it's $300 million on the table. So he figured, hey, I'm gonna ride this out, and it doesn't matter who I fight. And I think at that point he was just cashing into the bank. But now that's all over with. When you look at Canelo, hopefully he's back. Hopefully he has that hunger. I know they spoke up about him maybe fighting Jamal Charlo. I don't think he's gonna fight Jamal Charlo right now. You know, I didn't. But if he connects with PBC, it's a good chance the old Canelo could be back. I would love to see the old Canelo back. I would love to see him fight Caleb Plant, which I think he'll beat Caleb Plant because of ring experience. Caleb Plant is a hungry dude, and that's going to be a tough fight, but it's one that I definitely welcome. So if he does that, then I put him back on my pound-for-pound list, bring him back up a little higher. I don't give him number one because I put Terrence Crawford at number one, but Terrence Crawford is like 1A, and Errol Spence is like 1B. And the reason why is because Errol Spence has to show me that he can, one, get past Danny Garcia, and let's see how he feels after this wreck, right? We got to see how he does after this wreck. Make sure he has a comeback. So if he goes past that, he must beat Terrence Crawford. If Terrence Crawford gets past Kell Brook, if Terrence Crawford gets past Kell Brook, Errol Spence gets past Danny Garcia, then I still have them 1A, Terrence Crawford, 1B, Errol Spence until they fight. I really want to take Terrence Crawford out of my number one position, but I think he's had enough to get all of it done. But that's for another video. But anyway, back to Canelo. Hopefully that fight will happen, but I don't know. I don't have any faith in Canelo until Canelo shows and proves. You know, he's got a lot of walking upright to get back in the good graces of all the true boxing fans. For the people who out there is like, man, Canelo whooping, you know, they want to give Canelo the belt without even, or the accomplishment without Canelo earning them. You know what I mean? You got to beat Jamal Charlo. You got to beat Andrade. You got to beat all those. So I'm not going to just give it to you because what you used to do in the past, because what you did in the past, you might not longer can do. I know he's always has on that knee brace, so he could be having knee problems. He might not want to go get a knee surgery. I don't know what it is. It's something there that's affecting him. Or I just don't see Canelo like I used to see him. And I think that he has to prove himself, and Caleb Plant is a great way of getting back in my good graces. But that's straight up, guys, no chaser. Why don't you guys put in the comment section how you feel about that? Because I want to know your take on that. Do you think he's going to fight Caleb Plant? Do you think those guys going to get this deal done this coming week? I heard they should, so I'll keep an eye out on that. And if you do you guys think that Canelo is back? He's going to join the PBC? And if and so, will he fight Caleb Plant for sure? And if he gets past Caleb Plant, do you think he'll fight Jamal Charlo? So like I said, put it in the comment section. Make sure you like, subscribe, or hate. But anyway, share this video, guys, for all my true showboating fans. So until next time, guys, that's straight up no chaser, and I'm out.